Yes, welcome back to the channel where we focus on becoming the best version of ourselves one step at a time. And today I have 2 tips. If you follow them, you're going to transform your physique, not just get in shape. So just give me 12 to 16 weeks of consistent training and I'll have your body looking completely different. Realistically, muscle doesn't grow in a week. So that's why I'm saying to commit 12 to 16 weeks. I'll push more for the 16 weeks rather than the 12. But just as a baseline, minimum 12 weeks. Giving yourself this time frame will give your body the best opportunity to grow and adapt. Okay, so the first tip is you need to assess your body. You can do this by looking in the mirror or taking pictures. And this is not a thing where you're gonna pick apart and put yourself down. It's just evaluating how your body looks and what areas you need to develop. Look at your body and see which 1 or 2 muscle groups you want to work on and bring up. Don't pick more than 2 muscle groups because you don't want to kill yourself and spread yourself too thin. The second tip is to prioritize these 2 muscle groups for the next 12 to 16 weeks. And this is where most guys mess up. When I say prioritize these muscle groups should be trained as early as possible within the session. This is because this is when you're the most freshest and you're going to be your strongest. Exercise selection and order matters. It is very important. What you train first generally gets the most quality work from that session. Then you have to think about the frequency, how often you train these muscle groups. So if you're training it once a week, double that, train it twice a week. You're giving yourself more growth opportunities when you increase the frequency on these muscle groups. Just make sure you space it out and then you don't hit your shoulders again until day 4 where you're doing a seated overhead press. So for example, if you're trying to bring up your shoulders, you could have a situation where you're doing on day 1 shoulder presses and you don't hit your shoulders again until day 3 or day 4. If your goal is to bring up a certain muscle group and it's not for performance or sport specific, you want to pick exercises that are more stable. So rather than doing a standing overhead press, if you're trying to target your shoulders, try to keep all your exercises seated where you're a bit more stable, or even use a machine. Also, it goes without saying, your nutrition needs to be on point. You can't grow on empty, so you need to be in a slight calorie surplus. Make sure your protein intake is high. Make sure your sleep is on point and your recovery is on point. Because training gives you the stimulus and your growth comes from when you're recovering and resting. So there you have it. The 2 steps are to block out 12 to 16 weeks, assess your body, prioritize 1 to 2 muscle groups, and train with intensity and consistency. And if you found this useful, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.